What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel. Welcome to Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear. Here today I have another unboxing video for you all. We're going to be checking this one out together. You may already know what this one is all about based on the title and thumbnail, but I certainly, I'll be honest with you, I have no idea what this one could be. I just ended up unboxing like 4 other boxes. This is the 5th one. I'm recording these back to back. Of course, they're going to be different videos, but by now I guess we're going to find out together what's going on this one. I do know for a fact it is coming via the Apex knife pass around, so shout out to Blade Banter, aka David Com. And this particular one is coming from Big Red EDC, so if you haven't checked out Big Red EDC's channel, make sure to do so as well. Doing the honors today, we have the Vosteed Chipmunk. This is a small but mighty EDC liner lock with multiple deployment options, 14C28 and blade, which is coated, right? Pretty good. The reversible pocket clip. This knife and every other knife that you see in this video will be linked down below in the description. I can't guarantee availability, but I'll do my best to try to link as many sites as possible. So if you're interested in checking any of these out, perhaps buying yourself any of these knives, they are going to be linked down there. It does help out the channel when you use those links, but that is entirely 100% up to you and at zero extra cost. That being said, let's just open the thing, shall we? All right, we'll do a quick surgery incision cut right there, and that one seems like it will do the trick. Will it do the trick? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I still need to do another cut right there and another one right here. I'm using the belly of the Chipmunk to do so, and bam, here it is. It is a QSP knife, and that's about it on the box. So let's see what we have going on here on this one. This one is the Variant PE. That's going to be interesting. 14C28N blade coated in black titanium handle, and it's made in China. I think you guys already knew that. If it's a QSP knife, well, the blade just, I mean, the box just wants to go ahead and come open already. So let's just go ahead and do the thing. Here we go. We got the Have a Knife Day going on sticker right there. We got the QSP Better Knife, Better Life. I always thought it was Happy Wife, Happy Life, but I guess it's Better Knife, Better Life. All right, that's a new one. And a nice little QSP, nice little design diagram right there. And without further ado, let's take a look at this bad boy here. Let's get everything else out of the way. Here we go. Bam, check this thing out. All right, seems like it's pretty new, right? Fairly new. I feel like maybe Big Red EDC was the first one to check it out. I might be the second one. I see some oil out here. That's always a good sign from like a fairly brand new knife. That's how a lot of them come out of the box. Very nice, overly oiled if anything. And very interesting design on this one. It kind of goes up a little bit, gets a little thicker towards the back, nice and round here. We got a front flipper and a pill-shaped hole here for reverse flick and thumb deployment. So yeah, let's check this thing out. I'm gonna do the front flipper first. All right, bam, there it is. I'm not sure what happened the first time. There we go. I gotta dial in this one as far as the best way to deploy. There is some oil there. We're gonna wipe that. All right, this one came really oil, to say the least. All right, let me see. So again, 14C28N coated blade and QSP knife. I want to say this one is a design from someone. I know exactly who he is on Instagram, but I can't think of the name right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right down here, because you know we're all humans and sometimes we this is, you know, definitely having a brain fart right now. So 14C28N, sort of a Warncliffe. Would this qualify as a Warncliffe blade? I think so. Right, the blade down here, the edge, pretty nice and sharp, by the way. It's almost flat, but not quite. You have an ever so slight amount of belly, but like a hair. And it's nice and, you know, kind of pointy. The tip is way below the pivot point right there. And yeah, definitely Warncliffe aesthetics. We have black titanium going on, so this is definitely a premium knife. I want to say there are milled steel liners on the inside, which you can see from right here. So ever so amount of pull, but that's from the liners inside. According to the box, yeah, black titanium handles is what we have here. And liner lock, right? So this one is a liner lock. Oof, that thumb deployment feels good. Good access to the liner lock, by the way. Check it out right here. Very interesting opening too, kind of rectangular, but the corners are all nice and rounded. Easy to deactivate, or I guess push that liner out of the way. No additional jimping necessary. You got good access by default. And probably my favorite, but failing miserably. There it is, the reverse flick. All right, so let's take a look. Bam, reverse flick all day, every day. So at first, okay, so definitely a different approach. Definitely been checking out a lot of knives that sort of have a bend downward. This one has a bent upward on the handle, so that's different and interesting at the same time. I'm sure there's a method to the madness for that. I'll look more into that for the review video. Of course, you guys already know this is just a quick unboxing and first impressions, but a couple of things. The titanium is nice and rounded all the way through, so that makes it really nice and comfortable in the hand. Captive pivot on this side, hardwood on the other side, and we have a deep pocket carry clip, which is reversible on the other side with a nice filler cap right there, which looks good. Filler tab. And yeah, not very big, not very small. Honestly, maybe like a medium knife. Medium knife, yeah, I think that might definitely be the category for this one. Again, not super big hands or small hands, but your standard grip will be somewhere around here. And I still have a little bit of handle left going on there. Get an idea right there. That is your standard hammer grip, if you will. And I can rest my thumb right here for additional control, even though the jimping is only in this portion right there, this portion back here. But I could, you know, try to choke up as close to the edge as I can, and I get some really good control cuts. It is a flat grind all the way through. It feels like a full flat grind, so you know this thing is going to be very, very slicey. And our ball bearings on this one, yes, ball bearings. This thing is barely broken in at all. So you got your stub pin right there. Check it out. That's gonna basically hold the blade tang on the top end. The liner lock is gonna hold it down here. That creates your locking. And not really heavy, not necessarily crazy light either. A good weight to it. That pocket clip is nice and comfortable. It's rounded, has a drop and a very, you know, decent raise. Nothing too crazy, and I can barely feel it in the hand, to tell you the truth. And yeah, that tip right there is going to be very, very good for utility cuts, draw cuts, right? Kind of work like an X-Acto knife, if you will, with that tip. Just like any Wharncliffe in general. That's why I love Wharncliffe and sheepsfoot geometry so much, right? That utilitarian factor to it, right? The way that the tip is nice and low. For opening packages, this thing is great. You could do a little pinch grip like this as well. Get some more control even if you wanted to. And not that 14C 28N needed the additional corrosion resistance, but this one is all murdered out, so it kind of gives a whole blacked out aesthetics if you're into that, right? Kind of does that combination there very, very well. And very minimum body screws too. So of course you have the filler tab and this body screw up here, and same deal on the other side. You have the pocket clip screws and one body screw up here, two standoffs. That's all you have going on back here, right? No back spacer, definitely sandwich construction, but you have nice recessed liners all around, so they're nice and tucked away. So it's a very nice combination going on. Let's do some size comparisons, right? Let's see, let's do some of the usual ones, because of course these are knives that you probably already own. They're very popular. If you have spent any time in the EDC world, you probably already heard about the PM2 and the Para 3. So it's actually a little bit shorter than the Para 3, and obviously smaller than the PM2, right? Again, it is a medium knife, definitely more smaller than medium. But you know, let's see how it compares here next to the Demko AD 20.5. It's actually just a tad bit shorter. What about the smaller brother, the Shark Cub? All right, definitely more comparable to that Shark Cub. Check it out right there. All right, you guys be the judge. Well, we got the Civivi Sentinel Strike. Obviously, that's going to be a much larger knife. The Civivi Vision FG. All right, these are two very popular models from last year. Right, highly recommendable. Very fidgety, nice as well. And last but not least, here is the CJRB Pyrite, also very popular button lock, and the Vosteed Raccoon crossbar lock in this case. Both really highly recommendable. And we can see the Variant PE comes in actually a little bit shorter than both. So if I compared it to some of the smaller knives that I own, here's that Divo Knives NIP, right? So that's obviously smaller. And here's that Vosteed Chipmunk that we use to open the box, all right? And obviously the Variant, QSP Variant, is going to be bigger than both of those, but you know, still on a decently small category, right, if you will, kind of medium, right? If anything, medium by a hair, but mostly on the small size of things. So this thing is nice and sharp. Let's cut some paper with it, shall we? Oh my goodness. Check out the swirls on those first two cuts right there. Holy smokes. So yeah, this thing is definitely gonna cut, no doubt about that. And you almost have a straight edge for the most part. Again, only a tad bit of belly to it, nothing crazy. So you'll get a lot of cutting performance pretty much all the way through. And I don't know how much use Big Red EDC got out of this knife before sending it over, but this thing feels like it is factory sharp, right? It feels like this thing is still basically holding its factory edge. It does not feel dull in any way, shape, or form. Part of this scientific cutting test, of course, is cutting some cardboard. I have some everyday cardboard here, single wall diaper box, if you will. And keep in mind, when cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular like this, but rather at an angle like that. And it's going to look something like this. All right, check that out. There's a little bit of a bend right here to the cardboard. But yeah, just carrying that angle cut all the way through. Man, cutting it like nobody's business. And I can see the round handle being very comfortable. So even if you had to do longer cuts, or you had to cut for a longer period of time, I mean, this thing got you covered. Check that out. So this is what the black coat looks like after you get a couple of cuts in, right? Does that come off? Let's see, right? When you give it a nice little wipe after a cutting session. All right, if I can, butterfingers, okay. Yeah, it definitely comes up for the most part, and you can see ever so slightly some lines. So yes, it is gonna, you know, show some wear, right, over time, but nothing too crazy, right? If anything, it definitely gives the knife some personality, if anything. So, and again, it's the fact that it's black coated gives you that old mortared out aesthetics. I don't feel like this is anything in particular, just a black coat, but honestly, it doesn't affect the sliciness at all. So that is a good thing. It is still very slicey. It is a flat grind, of course, and it's actually not a pretty thick blade either. So this thing is going to be a slicing monster, of course, for draw cuts like that. Boom, perfect. So you guys rate it in the comments on a scale from 1 through 10. How sharp is this guy? Let me know. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the QSP variant. Again, titanium going on in the handles. 14C 28N. Again, this one seems to be fairly new. Still got quite the amount of oil coming out of the pivot. That's always a good sign of a fairly recently new knife. So it is part of a knife pass around. I'm excited to put this thing in my pocket. Of course, this is just a quick unboxing and first experience type of video. This is not a review video in any way, shape, or form. Just trying to share with you my first thoughts, just my overall experience taking this thing out of the box and doing some initial cuts with it. Of course, I'm going to carry this knife for some time and come back to you with a comprehensive review. You guys already know how it goes here on the channel by now. And if you want to make sure you don't miss out on that review or any new knife content for that matter, guys, subscribing to the channel will be the best way to stay up to speed, to stay up to date. If you haven't yet liked the video, smash that like button. It really helps this video and the channel overall reach a larger audience. And if you want to support the channel a step further, check out the Patreon link down below in the description, or you can simply support the channel right here on YouTube by becoming a channel member. Guys, I'll link this knife and every other knife that you saw in this video down below. Again, I can't guarantee availability, but there's a possibility by the time you're watching this video, depending on when in the future you're watching this video, this knife will be available. So I'll do my best to link as many websites as I possibly can down below so you can check it out. Again, it does help out the channel when you use those links, but that is entirely up to you and at no extra cost. That being said, guys, I really hope you have enjoyed this upload. If you made it to the very end, you are the real MVP. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here until the very end. Check out the unboxing, by the way, on the Vosteed Chipmunk right here, if you haven't already, right? Small factor EDC, very fidgety with multiple deployment options, also all mortared out, 14C28N and black G10. So another option for you to check out as well. I'll put a card for that one right here so you guys can check out that video next if you like. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.